Okay.
Like turn it right up a little.
Like this.
I think it's just fine.
Well, I asked the opinion of everybody to make sure everyone can see and their eyes are comfortable. That's the biggest thing. Is this better, Kingston? Clear? Okay. So, it says, what are like terms? You just said it. They have the same variable. And in some cases, they have multiples. And they have the same exponent. And sometimes there's multiple exponents. When we're looking at the next part, it says combine means to add or subtract the coefficients. That is also a vocabulary word. Coefficients are the numbers in front of variables. They are typically to the left of variables. So, this is one vocabulary word. There's another vocabulary word. Variables and coefficients were also vocabulary words, but these are the most essential ones to see. Numbers by themselves, also called constants, are like terms. So, numbers by themselves, constants are automatically like terms. So, if I see a 2 and a 4, I know they have to combine to make 6. Any questions there? Variables without a written coefficient have an understood coefficient of what? 1. Make sure your 1s look like 1s. Some of y'all's 1s look like L's. I don't want you to try to say a coefficient is an L. Please don't do that. Okay. Any questions there? It says which terms are like terms. So we have different directions for different parts. It says circle all terms that can be combined with 3a. So we're circling terms that can be combined with this. What can be combined with it? Negative 14a, because they both have a's with exponents of 1. Is there any more? A itself. What's the coefficient in front of this a? 1. Are there any other ones? No. Draw a square around all terms that can be combined with 4b. So someone other than Kingston, tell me what's going on. No, Kingston, give other people a chance. Give other people a chance. I know. Bless you, Colin. Bless you, Colin. Who wants to help me with this one? Okay, Colin.
A combined with 3b.
3b.
AB.
No, because does that have an A attached to it? No. Does this have an A attached to it? No. So they can't be like terms if they're not exactly the same in that regard. Is there another one, Colin?
4b squared.
No, because does that have a squared attached to it? Does the 4b have a squared attached to it? So it can't be that because they have the same variables and exponents. Is there anything else?
B negative.
Negative b. Thank you, that's perfect. Any questions there? Next one says underline all terms that could be combined with a squared. Who wants to help me with this one? All right, Jordan Kilgore.
Negative 5a squared. 3a squared.
And that's all right.
Yes.
There we go. Great job. Draw an X through all terms that can be combined with X. Well, with 5. Who wants to help me with this one? All right, Matthew, let's go.
4.
4.
17.
17.
Negative 8.
And negative 8. Is there anything else? Perfect. And then draw a triangle around all the terms that can be combined with 9ab. Who wants to help me with this one? Ian, you want to help me with this one? Let's go. 7ba. The order does not matter because multiplication is commutative. You can change the position and it will still equal the same thing. Anything else? 5AB and negative AB. Is there any more? No, because this is a B squared, has nothing to do with that, and that's an A cubed, has nothing to do with that. Any questions? Make sure you follow the rules to know what's happening here, because it was very specific. Draw a circle, draw a square, underline, draw an X, and then draw a triangle. Make sure you know the steps they're trying to tell you to do. Okay? Any questions on this section? Okay. Looking on. We're combining more like terms. So, 2A and A, are they like terms, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So, how would I combine these?
2A plus
2A plus 1A, right? So, we're going to write that here. Which equals
3,
3A. So, when you're combining like terms, there's a few things you need to know. Only combine coefficients. Do not change variables or exponents. Those are the biggest takeaways from this. Please write this down. These are consistent mistakes that people do that really mess up their understanding of this material. Kingston, make sure you write these, baby. Doing good in the class means writing out these notes that you feel like you'll remember, but you have something to reference. Thank you, Ms. Davis. I'll get you a copy of those.
Okay, thanks. I'll be back in a second.
Sounds good. Any questions on these two pieces that I just added? Because notice all I did was add 2 and 1, but A stayed exactly the same. Any questions there? So, A and A squared, are they like terms? No. So if I were to write this, it would be A squared plus A, because that's descending order. The squared is greater than the 1. Any questions there? Looking at example 2, I have 2 UV and 2 TUV. Are these like terms? No. So how do you think I would write this final answer? How would I write it? Reference this one that I just did up here. Close. Because alphabetically T comes first, right? So that has to go there first. Then what goes behind it? Plus 2UV. Absolutely. Any questions there? A squared B and 4A squared B. Are they like terms? Yes, because they both have an A squared and they both have a B. So how would I write this out to simplify it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which equals? What's the coefficient in front of this term? A 1. So what am I actually adding together? No, just and. Thank you. What's 4 plus 1? 5 what? Absolutely. The variables should not change. So these would be the final answers when we're looking at these. Yes, sir. You see why I told you to write it down? Because didn't it just answer the question you just asked me? Trust the teacher, baby. Trust the teacher. Okay? Looking at this one. 4x. Are they like terms? No. So how would I write my answer here?
4x plus 4.
Absolutely. Any questions there? Looking at the next one, we have a cubed c squared b and B, A cubed, C squared?
No.
Do they both have an A cubed?
Yes.
Do they both have a B?
Yes.
Do they both have a C squared?
Yes.
Are those like terms?
Yes.
They sure are, because if you recall what we did up here with me and Ian, he told me 7BA was still a like term with 9AB, and didn't I tell him that the order does not matter because it's commutative? So does this order matter? No, because it's still commutative. Couldn't I just rewrite this as A cubed B C squared? So how would I combine these?
3A squared.
I'm just writing it the same way I saw it.
Do you write that?
Am I writing it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So should you be writing it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Because as a teacher, do I really need all these guiding things to help me with understanding this? No, because didn't I graduate in this degree? Don't I already have a high school diploma? So who is this benefiting? Me or you? Y'all. Because I already know. How do I combine these?
Add one from them.
Add over one in front of both. So what would this be? 2. And then writing it correctly would be A cubed B C squared. Don't skip out on notes, because that could be the difference in your understanding and your neglect of content. Does that make sense? Lean up for me, Jordan. Your body language says a lot. And let me tell you this right now. Look up here. This is more for you. It shows that you do not care. Is that how you want people to perceive you? Look up here. I'm still talking to you. They can listen in because it helps them. Is that how you want people to perceive you? I need to hear you.
No.
No.
Alright.
Thank you. What's the word of the year?
Respect.
Is it very respectful for me to have to stop the lesson to have this conversation?
No.
But am I going to do it anyway to make sure that you know that I care about it?
Yes, ma'am.
Show that you care. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any questions on that one? Looking at the next one, we have 3x and 2xy. Are these like terms? No. So how would I write my final answer here? 3x. Anything by itself that's in the alphabet first will go first. So which means x by itself would have to go first because y comes second to x in the alphabet. Does that make sense? So this is actual standard form of that. Any questions there? And finally, 5x and then x over 5. Are these like terms?
Yes.
Yes. So let me explain why they are like terms, okay? So if we were to rewrite this, we would have 5 plus 1/5. The reasoning, because this can be rewritten as 1/5 x. These are like terms in that regard. Make sure you write these pieces down because this will come back up, okay? It will. And you have to know that they're real like terms. So what's the denominator underneath this 5 that we can't see? 1. So what's my least common denominator between 1 and 5? 5. So I only have to change this one, correct? So when I change this one, what do I need to multiply? Thank you. 5 times 5, which gets me 25 over 5 plus 1/5, correct? What's 25 plus 1? So 26 over 5. And that would be my answer for here. Don't forget your x. Remember, this is going back to 1.1. So if you're wondering where those notes are to do this, it's in 1.1. Reviewing fractions, adding and subtracting. Any questions there? All right, let's look at example number 3 on the back. Simplify each expression by combining like terms. I know, baby, I froze it because people were still writing. I know, I promise. If it says freeze up there, I did it on purpose. I'll just make sure everybody had it. Does everybody have this written? Okay. Write your expression in descending order. 1, highest exponent to lowest exponent. 2, variables in alphabetical order. 3, constants always last. Descending order is also a vocabulary word. I would underline that or highlight that. If you don't have a highlighter, underline it. Underline vocabulary that you know will be referenced later. Descending order will be referenced in every unit that we do beyond this one. Except maybe equations, but even then, putting in descending order in your final answer is important. So if I'm looking at A, 10K minus 3K, are these like terms? Yes. So I would bring down the K, and what would I be typing in?
10 minus
What's 10 minus 3?
7.
And there's no need to ask if this is in descending order because it's only one term. That would be the final answer. Any questions there? Letter B, I have B plus 10A squared plus 5A squared. Who wants to help me with this one? All right, Kingston.
We will do combine. Well, break down the B,
Should it be at the beginning or the end?
the A,
The end. And then,
combine 10 and 5.
because they both have A squareds.
Yes.
So what's 10 plus 5, Kingston?
15.
So 15 what?
A squared.
And what goes between these two?
Plus some.
Plus, because that B was positive. Does that make sense to everybody? That's in alphabetical descending order. Great job, Kingston. Any questions there? Who wants to help me with C? Somebody I haven't heard from yet on this section. The biggest thing is to try, right? If you don't get something right, am I going to make fun of you? Am I going to yell at you? Am I going to make you feel bad about it? So why don't you try and let me help you, right? Because it's going to give you confidence. So who wants to do this one with me?
Contra?
No, Kingston, you just did one. Give somebody else a chance. Jordan, Kilgore, you want to try it with me?
Sure.
All right. What do we need to do first, in your opinion?
Subtract.
You got it. Is there a like term to go with this negative 5x? 1x. So let's start there. What am I typing into my calculator? Just do the coefficient. What's the coefficient here? What's the coefficient? What's the coefficient on this one? There you go. So what am I typing in? Not times. Negative 5 plus what? Type that in for me. Tell me what you got when you get it, Jordan. Negative 4 what? There you go. That's the first half. So what needs to happen next? So what am I typing in this time? There we go. Type that in. What was that? I'm sorry. Great. What goes behind that? Is this in alphabetical order, Jordan? Are you sure? There you go. That's the answer. See, was that so bad? No. You got it. You just need to practice, right? All right. I have D n to the 5th plus 9p minus 5p. Who wants to help me with this one? Ian, you want to try it? Let's do it. So what should go first? N. Is there anything to combine with this n? So what do we do with it? we bring it down. Then what do we do? There we go. 9p minus 5p. So what should go behind this? Plus 4p. Any questions there? Great job. For E, I have negative 2m squared, not squared, to the 7th, minus 3m to the 7th. Who wants to help me with this one? Someone I haven't heard before yet. So I've heard from Kingston, Ian, and Jordan Kilgore. Who wants to help me with this one? All right, Jordan Atkinson, let's go.
Wait, actually, I ain't never seen a problem like this. I don't know if I can do that.
But the question here is, are they like terms?
Oh, yes.
Because do they both have an m?
Yes.
Do they both have an exponent of 7?
Yes.
So these being like terms, all I need to focus on is what number?
2.
What kind of 2?
12.
What kind of 2?
Negative 2.
And what number over here?
Negative 3.
So what am I typing into my calculator?
Negative 2 minus negative 3.
Just minus 3, right? So what are we typing in? Say it a little bit more confidently.
Negative 2 minus
You got it. Type it in. Negative 5. Should my variable change?
No.
Should my exponent change?
No.
That's the answer. Not so hard, right? There we go. Any questions there? F, I have k to the 4th plus 4n squared plus k to the 4th plus 2n. Who wants to help me with this one? Someone I haven't heard from yet.
Whatever you want to open.
Who wants to help me? Gavin, you want to try? Let's go, Gavin. What needs to go first? The K. So, are there any like terms with the K? So how would that be combined? 2K to the what? There we go. Perfect. Then, exactly. Because can I combine those two? Thank you. One of them has a squared. That's perfect. That's in standard form. He is correct. Any questions there? How do we feel? You already know what's coming. I need you to do 1, 2, and 3. Do 1, 2, and 3. So looking at these, let's talk about them. So if I'm looking at number 1, I have negative 5x plus 6x. Are these like terms? Yeah. So, which means, should my x change or stay the same? What am I typing into the calculator? What's negative 5 plus 6? So if you put the 1 there, I didn't count it off, but in algebra, it's typically this. Does that make sense? I took either one. The answer should not have been negative because integer rules say take the sign of the biggest number. So it should have been a positive 1. Any questions there? Looking at 2, I have x plus 9y plus 3x. So do I have any like terms here? What are my like terms? So, what should be brought down unchanged? Just x, right? Because we're just combining these, right? So, what's being brought down in the front? How'd you get it? 1 plus 3, which is? And then, is there anything to combine to this 9y? So what's being brought down? Any questions there? And then finally 3. What you tell me? Which creates? because it's 1 plus 1, because there's a 1 in front of this one, there's a 1 in front of that one.
Is 7C, what is it?
That's cubes, baby.
8C, it's fine.
Of 3, yeah, So, what should be brought down?
C squared,
C cubed.
cubed,
You're okay. Then,
plus 8,
plus,
15,
what was, I'm sorry?
15.
15, because it's 7 plus 8. And that's in standard form. If you know that you missed this, please write down the right answers in the right work. Please, there was at least a few people who dropped a variable. There was 2 people who failed this daily grade. Please write down the right work. I told you this was supposed to be straightforward. I wasn't lying to you. So please hold yourself accountable. Don't just leave it wrong. Because if you leave it wrong, you're going to keep getting it wrong. Any questions? You have a little bit of time. Work on your practice. I'll tell you when to pack up, okay? Remember, all of your practices and your notes are due to Schoology this evening by 10 p.m. Do not wait. Do not wait. If it's not completed, it will count against you because it is a completion grade. Do not message me about it. Please turn them in.